Hiya folks, what we've got up here is an 18 by 24 inch canvas. It's been primed and prepped and everything like that, and I've taken a little bit of acrylic blue paint and just smeared it all over and allowed to dry completely. To that, once it's all dry, I've taken a little bit of grey colour mixed up from burnt umber, white and French ultramarine in acrylic paint as well. We're doing an acrylic painting again today. You liked last week's one, so we'll have another go at another acrylic one. Anyway, I've sketched out a little mountain scene. Nothing too taxing, I don't think. Just a couple of little wobbly triangles and a couple of bits and pieces down here where we're going to have some stones and some trees and stuff like that. We may put a little waterfall there, but that could change. That could change. So this is all completely and utterly dry now. Now I could go on top of this with oil paint, or I could do it in acrylic, and I'm going to stick to acrylic. Okay, and you notice I've not put much paint out. Acrylic dries very, very quickly, and if I put lots out, I'm going to be in agony city. Yeah, so we'll put paint out as we need it. I'm just going to dampen off the top area up there with a few squirts of a misty brush, and then just try and just coat all that just so it's all in there like so. And I'm going to take a nice brush. Let's just get this soft flat brush. I'm going to take some white, and I'm going to take another bit of French ultramarine. No, I think that's phthalo blue actually this time. Phthalo blue. I'm going to add a bit of red to it, and maybe a bit of brown just there like that. And we're going to put a nice moody sky up here. We could leave the sky as it is really, but we need to work on it. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit, I might put a touch of red in that as well, just to stop it from going green with the phthalo blue. A bit of a moody sky. I think we'll have some clouds up here as well. We'll push these mountains really far back. I really like the acrylics, what we did last week, and you guys seem to like them as well. So we'll do it. We'll do some more. Not always, but we'll carry on doing what we're normally doing. So just take some of this colour, really loosely mix it, don't overwork it. And again, it'll dry pretty quickly, so gotta work quite fast. Get it pushed right into the fabric. And again, if we're following on from last week's video, if we leave a little tiny bit open and the canvas shows through, it's got that lovely blue colour underneath, so that'll be the tone throughout really. Remember last week's sunset video, that was a lovely golden colour that was underneath, which was pretty awesome, I think. Pretty awesome. So as I'm laying this in, please consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already, and like the video. That would really help us out. So all I'm going to do now is just push some of this colour into the sky. Happy days. A little bit of French ultramarine, I've put a little bit out. French ultramarine and burnt umber with the white make a nice grey colour. And I'm just putting some undercolours of some clouds just there like that. Now just wipe off any excess in the brush. You could wash it out, I suppose, but I'm not too fussed. Go straight into some white there. So we'll get an off-white because it's got the grey colours in the brush. Look down at my sketch and we'll just put some clouds there like so. Just merge them together. So a little bit of whiteness in the sky as well. Just like that. Where the two colours meet, just tease them back. Work loose, work free. There. Work on some cloudy shapes. There, like that. Even get some going down there above the mountains. I think we're going to have some mist. Lots of mist, I think, in this painting. There might be a lot coming from that waterfall. So that's what we'll think about. If we have a waterfall there. I'm not too sure yet. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So there we go. I think we've got a nice dramatic sky, a little bit of movement up there and stuff. We may come back and tinker with it. It's touch dry now. I wouldn't like to put any wetness on there just yet. Might lift it off. Let's work on the far away distant mountains here. So I've gone to this very fine flat brush and I've sprayed the palette with some water just to dampen it all off. And I've just picked up some of this grey colour. And we're going to have a couple of these mountains just about here. I don't know if you can see that. It looks almost like the sketch colour, but we're going to put a couple in there like so, and have some of these clouds coming over the top. And again, another peak or something like that. I don't want same, don't want teeth, you know, shark's teeth or anything like that, but just a little bit of sort of distinct mountain peaks, and they'll come through the, we'll have some mist and stuff coming out of there like that. Okay, and there's another peak there, and we can paint the snow on top of this as well. We'll have a bit of snow. I want more rock than snow in these mountains because we want some green down here, and this is a mistake I've made before. I might as well just paint this in as well. We've got that colour going. The mistake I made, I've painted snow on mountains, and then when you get down to the foreground, there's no snow there, so it looks like two seasons all in one. So we've got to remember to tie it all together. So there, right. So I'm going to just peel it off slightly, a bit of white into that on this little mini palette. Like it a lot. And where we're going there, like that. And that's one peak in the distance, like so, and then we'll add some more there. And we want a fuzzy top on these mountains, if that makes sense, because you'll just pick out colour and lumps of shapes and stuff. You won't see a distinct edge, if that makes any sense at all. Probably not. And we'll add a bit more just there, just so we know where the highlight's going to be. There, like so. Of course, we're going to tinker with all this lot. This is just a little bit of experimenting. Like that. But I like this soft flat brush. It really does work wonders with acrylics, I find. Just tease it back into the shadow side. And the same on there. See, it's drying almost quite quickly, and that's the benefit of acrylic paints. You can repaint over and over and over again, whereas oils, you'll be just blending yourself into misery. Okay, I'm just going to take that grey colour. Obviously it's gone a little bit lighter now, but I'm just going to take a bit of the ultramarine in there. I do like French ultramarine as a shadowy kind of colour. I like French ultramarine anyway. And again, we'll just put a bit, maybe make it a bit darker, touch of black maybe as well into that, and just toy with it there. And same on this one there. Maybe goes across there like so, and just tease them together. Work it. We'll get these done, and then we'll work on the main ones in the foreground. You can just float in a little bit of grey white on a very soft brush down here, and just dry brush some of this mist right in and right over the top of this mountain that's in the foreground. That mountain, just like so. That pushes that into the sky, just like so. Now we can do the same down here, but before we do get carried away, I'm just going to pick up some white, and I need to wet the palette, really get a bit of some of this colour going, and we'll put a few little highlights on this. Now we can really start to carve some of these mountains out. Now it's a off-white colour, almost grey. Well, it is a grey colour, but some of that blue canvas will show through, and that's an amazing thing. We can use that to our advantage. And then once this dries, we can layer another layer of acrylic paint over the top of it. And then same on the shadow side as well. We can get some bluey colours going. Just let me spray the palette. So I just spray the palette just like so. Just to keep damp our work area as well. I don't want massive blocks of colour just yet, it's too far away, but like that, work it in, work that grey colour in, Be nice to have a bit of mist in there as well, so it can come back in with that soft brush at some point and just mist that up. So I've just purpled off some of this colour to bring forward this mountain range, and I'm just putting in some darks first. I don't know where we're going to go with it. We've got trees all either side of this, so a lot of this could get covered up, but some might show through, and that'll be a good thing. Yeah, we're going to have something there leading into his waterfall, but we'll get some of this rocky colour down first, like so. Just make it on this brush and down here. I'm gonna float a lot of mist through here as well, just a little bit of pale colour through there, like that. Maybe a bit darker there. I'm liking the way these mountains look as well. Right, so just look at the state of the palette. And I keep spraying it with water just to keep it moist, keep it damp, and we can put some of this lighter colour on and work it in and work it around. So basically they're just like big rocks, aren't they? Again, I don't want shark teeth, so be careful of that. Yeah, we'll go there. I'll just keep playing with this. I'm not too fussed about that just yet. Keep playing with this. Put on some colour. Put on more colour. Blend it in. Tease it out. And your mountain should come alive. Now, I haven't finished with the mountains yet. I will wait for that to completely dry. Then I'm going to go across the whole lot in various stages. Just dry brush in some mist over the top just to push them back a little bit more. I'm going to work on this now. I've taken some dark colour. Okay, it is basically brown, red, blue, touch of black and some white. Just there, like so. Same brush. I haven't really washed it. I just keep wiping it every now and again, adding a bit of water every now and again. And we want some bigger rocks down here. I'm going to put one there just to break that straight line up, and just put something in that we can paint over the top of. I had an image that a waterfall had come down there, a little bit of a lake, and some sort of stream that comes here. Well, this might all change yet. We might put some more. I think the mid-ground, the transition between mountains and foreground, is a very difficult thing to do. It's probably that I find the hardest thing in a composition like this. Usually just go with trees right over the top and then trees either side. That to me, in this composition, in this painting, is not what I'm after. So I might have to think about something in there. But just for now, we're just going to get some of this rocky colour, this rocky darky colour down. Take it off, I don't know where it goes, who knows. And we'll just throw something in there, wipe off any excess off the brush. Come on, Dan, come on, you can do it, you can do it. We'll put a bit there. I don't want that steep drop off just there either. So we'll just work on this. And we can grab, I need to get some more white yet. Need to get some more white put out. And we'll start up at there. So this is the same colour, just paled off a little bit. In fact, paled off a lot. And again, anything we don't like with acrylics, we wait a couple of minutes and then we can paint over the top of it. So you are not committed at all. You can change your mind mid-flow, and I often do that. Just get that in there like that. Something there. Of course, it's a soft brush, soft synthetic brush, so you can even blend with this one. It's excellent, excellent stuff. I don't know where I got it from. In fact, I think I was given it. I think So I think the mountains I've virtually done. I've put some little stringy clouds over the tops of the peaks and stuff, and give it a bit of a white wash just to push everything back into the sky and the mist and everything like that. Now what I'm doing is I'm just mixing up a little bit of a pale, muddy, light greeny, bluey colour, and we want a little distant hill, which will probably get covered up by a lot of the trees and stuff. I think I've ditched the idea now of a waterfall, which anyway, don't matter, does it? But we'll just put a little distant hill. We want one that comes down there like so, and these will be lots of little trees way back in the distance, so we can't really tell just yet. We're going to have lots of mist in here as well, so we'll put that in. Still don't know about this area because this was where there's lakes. We might have a lake there, I don't know. But we've got lots of trees to go on, so a little bit of this green on there, and if it gets a bit too strong and we don't like the colour or the colours that we're going to put down, then we can also throw some white mist over the top of this as well. And if we skip some parts in the canvas, that blue will show through and give it a bit of a cool colour as well. So I've just floated in some mist down here, very, very thinly and sparingly, just to push that foothill back. And a lot of mist down here. Okay, let's mix up some colour. So it's basically the same colour as this, but a little bit stronger, a little less white in there. And we'll just do the same again, just like this. We'll fetch it down there. We don't know where it's going to go, and we'll pull some trees out of this. So we'll just wipe off any excess down there. We're just going to like lift up, just like so. Just some trees every now and again. They're going to get bigger as they get down here. That makes sense. We just want to lift up some trees like that. Change the colour of the paint as well. So dive into a little bit of blue. Only fractionally change it. Maybe a bit of brown every now and again. And we can put all sorts of niceness up here. And when this is in and it's thinly on, remember we've got the blue underneath, we can start misting out again. Keep it nice and misty, nice and seasonal, if that makes sense. Keep it all tied together. A little bit more there, that big nice little tree line coming up there, like that. A little bit of white, and it'll pick up some of that green, but it's only very thin. Look at how much paint's on the brush, virtually none. And we can just float in some fog and mist down there. Grab a little bit more and just float it in between these foothills. And you can see I've just taken the brush and just tapped in lots of little trees. Some you can't see, some you can. Look at that. Very foggy, very misty. And up here, we're not too concerned just yet. We could just blend all this mist and fog over the whole thing. There, like that. We need to work on something down here now. So let's get rid of all the paint off the brush, then we can wash this out. Of course, you've got to wash your brushes quickly, or just keep them in some water, because you don't want this drying out on you. You don't want the acrylic drying out on you. I'll throw some in there. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit more and throw it in there. A little bright spot, I think. Might pull some trees out of that. What do you think? What do you think so far, folks? So what I've done is I've taken a filbert brush, and just painted some light trees there, just down there as well. And I'm darkening off the colour, so it's a bit of everything, really. and I'm just going to put some background trees. We're going to have some big trees there and there perhaps, but I just want something in the background here as well. So let's grab a little bit more water just to thin it down somewhat. Okay, and I like the filbert brush because you can tap on, give yourself a nice straight start, and then just use the corner of the brush just to lift up, and it gives all these excellent evergreeny kind of effects there. You can grab a bit more dark as we're getting down toward the base of the tree, like so. And I'll do that several times just to fill in this area, which is just going to be background material, so a lot of this might get covered up as we go along. So let's put another one in. We'll do one there, like that. So start it off. Got a little bit of a crook on it, this one. Send him to Westminster, yeah. While we've got some colour on the brush, I'll just throw some in. So that's the dark colour off the trees. That part's going to be in shadow. I just picked up a bit of yellow. Now this is not like oil paint, so you can't put it on and just blend it all and mix it all together. It's going to dry pretty quickly, so we'll just throw some in as little backgroundy stuff. Finding the words a little bit hard to describe at the moment. Again, some bigger trees here, so probably there, I think, and there in my head. So just grab some backgroundy colours and just really push them in to the fabric. A couple of rocks there, by the way. I know they look a bit bizarre now, but they won't do when we're done. They won't do. A nice little bit of a meadow there, I think. Could put a few trees on top of that as well. See how that looks. Might need paling off, darkening up, we don't know. I just want to get some basic colours down for the moment. Maybe a bit of water in that. But there we go, that's better. That's better. Come on. Water costs nothing. Well, it does. It certainly does. But it's not like putting paint thinner on or oil or anything like that. It will dry relatively quickly. Especially in here, it's quite warm. Maybe that's a bit too black. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Most groundy, dirty sort of areas are dark, aren't they? Even grasses are kind of dark. Just mix it all up. I don't know what we've got here. Did I have a rock there? I can't remember. A little fly is doing my head in. I've got a pond right outside the door here, and it's the time of the year where all the little midges start to come out of play. Anyway, that's a my problem. That's a me problem. Okay, let's work on some of these trees. Now, I've wiped off the palette, as you can see, and it was getting a bit too tacky. So, I put out some fresh paint. I've taken a bit of brown, bit of yellow, bit of yellow ochre, bit of black, bit of blue, made a little bit of a wonderful tree colour. And I've got the filbert brush. Again, it's a nice soft filbert brush. And we'll start on this one, and we'll leave the top as it is and just lightly touch on, and we'll bring some of these little leafy things out of this, just like that. Okay, I will hit this with another brush in a little while. I think a flat brush might be better in certain areas, but I just want a little bit of an odd shape to the tree, because the leaves and sticks and limbs and everything that grows on here will be in completely different. Each one's got to be individual. You just whiz it straight down, you know, let's just do it there like that. It's not going to look right, in my opinion. So I just want to pull it out like this. Okay. and make them all slightly different if you can. And with this filbert brush, you can bend the bristles down slightly like that to give a little bit more of a shape. Now we can see the trunk still in that tree there. We will obviously add lots of different paints onto this. This is just as base colour really. Just like that. There we go. Like the contrast there. Because we're getting down over some of this. This is all obviously dry. And we'll push this tree further back than this tree. And this tree might be in front of it as well. I don't know yet. I don't know. I do want a leaf tree somewhere in this composition. And I also want a dead tree as well. Or maybe even a half a dead tree. But we'll have to see where we go on that one. So I've just added a bit of black and blue while it's still a little wet. And I'm just putting in a few shadows in this tree. Usually fir trees, Nordic pines, spruces, whatever we call them. Evergreens, they're kinda dark. There we go. Anyway. A couple out there like that. Just on the shadow side, and maybe a couple on the highlight side. We've got branches coming in front as well, haven't we? So we need to work on that. And I don't just have them either side of the tree. I often make that mistake. So we'll work on this tree as well. You can see I've just painted it in, but I've taken a little touch of this dark greeny, almost black colour. And I'm just extending some of the leaves off these branches like that. It's quite thin. I've thinned it out. I think this will give a little bit more oomph to the tree rather than just having your filbert brush leaves, especially in the foreground, which this tree is. And when we go to do the highlights, which this won't have many on because we're just seeing basically half a tree, but certainly on this one, which we'll do the same again on that tree with this kind of brush. But when we go to do the highlights, this is how we'll do it. We'll pop some little dots and dabs like this. I think you get a natural look. Okay, let's work on these rocks now before we work on this water. Maybe this rock is going to be in front of the water, so we might have to work on the water first. So let's put some dark colour in anyway. This is a reddy, greyy, dark stone slate colour. Okay, we'll just come across there and just cut that off. Okay, just fill that in. Like so. Most of this painting has been done with this brush, 2 or 3 brushes, and that's it. We can rock and roll, yeah. And we'll go over this one as well. In fact, I'm going to touch a bit more black in that one, slightly closer to us. Just fill these in. Okay. Let's just fill these rocks in. A bit of black on this side, a bit of black, maybe a bit of blue as well, just into that, darken it off down here. Okay, got some big boulders in this composition. Just added a bit of lighter colour just for this side, even though this isn't the highlight colour. I'll just work it in there. Like so, just push it in there, and then maybe there's 2 there, don't know, like that. Just added a little bit of yellow ochre and brown to this mix, and we're just gonna carve out some first kind of highlights on the top of this boulder. Then let's tease it back like that. a bit down here as well. There's something there, maybe. Just tease a little bit into the shadowy side as well. Like that. Go on the other one. Same again. Just carve in a little bit of something there. Bring it down. It's getting quite sticky, so we've got to be careful we don't lift any of the paint off as we're painting on, because that can happen with acrylics. There. I'm going to give that a minute. While I'm waiting for the rocks to dry, I'm going to just work on this little stream soak. Bit of water, just dampen it off a little bit. Okay, because I really want to get this big boulder in place as well, where we've got the colours still on the palette for that. Right, a bit of blue and black and whatever yellows we've got going. And we'll just like we would do normally, just pull straight down into that water that's on there. But that quick, fades away there. This is a 3/4 flat brush that I'm using here, so it's ideal for straight edges. Okay, not too sure where we're going with that. Just put it a bit further down there. The white, if you can see any white on the canvas, that's obviously been painted on, because we painted the canvas in blue beforehand, didn't we? Okay, and just take it across, just like we would do in an oil painting. There, like so. Maybe a bit at this side. There, like so. See, I'm not happy with that part. Remember, look, when we said about lifting it off, when paint starts to lift off, so we may have to just either come back to that or see if we can merge it in. We'll come back to that. So I've got a little bit of a pale grey colour now, and I'm just going to hit just ever so gently some of the tops of this boulder. Maybe it goes around there as well, and it comes down. Just gently caressed, like so. There. Might be better with a bit of a liner brush on top of this in a minute. And same on this one. Get a little bit on there. Bring it down. Like that. And we'll tease this one. And then just cut in some little lines on this side. Get that a bit of a stronger one there. It's almost flat to the floor, that one. Dry brush some of that colour into the stonework. And we're getting there, folks. There, just to tie it all in, I'm just going to dry brush a tiny bit of fog or mist or something, just in various spots around here. Of course, this is all completely dry now, so it'll just lightly shade some of these areas with a bit of white, just to give it that little foggy effect. Like so. You can build this up a little bit stronger if you wish. But I think we're getting there. I think we're having a nice time, yeah? Little bit of mist all over there, just another layer of mist, and I think we have got a nice finished composition. Well, I've really enjoyed this one with acrylic paints, and if you've enjoyed it, please like the video. Remember to comment and subscribe if you've not done so already. And until next time, take care of yourself, stay safe, happy days.